Hi. Good afternoon, everyone. Glad everybody made our virtual chamber luncheon. If you have lunch in front of you, you're one of the luckier ones. I don't have time just yet, but I want to welcome everyone. As you know, I am the 2021 president of the chamber this year. And we were hoping to continue to meet in person, but with the increase in numbers and just for the sake of the community's health, we decided as a chamber to go ahead and move to full virtual. And we'll evaluate maybe next month. We'll be able to do it in person again. We were just gaining momentum, and then we had to put the brakes on things. So there you go. Numbers are looking better, I hear, so that's encouraging. Right now, I'm going to turn the meeting over to our chamber staff to run the rest of our meeting. So Angie, go ahead.
All right. So today we're going to start off with some announcements. And this is actually a little bit quicker on a virtual meeting than it is in person because you don't have to wait to walk up to the podium. So if you have an announcement that you would like to make right now, go ahead and raise your hand in the reactions and I will call on you and you can make your announcement. Now, I promised Emily Westcott that I would share this announcement with all of you guys first, which is that we are currently looking for a Christmas tree for downtown. There are very specific requirements because certain varieties collapse under the pressure of the transportation. So if you have a big 30 to 40 foot tree that you are interested in donating to the community, get a hold of Emily Westcott. We can get you connected here at the chamber. So is there anybody else that has an announcement today? It doesn't look like anybody's got their hand raised. If anybody wants to just jump in, go ahead.
I'd like to encourage people to consider going to a facility for living, which will be at OTA, and it opens coming up. I think their rehearsal is Thursday, is night after tomorrow night, and then the official opening night is Friday the 1st. They are featuring Shipley Center as their featured nonprofit. And we will have an information table there about what we do for Shipley Center and a drawing for a free membership. And so we are getting our board members and other volunteers together to man that table. Each of the, I believe it's 11 performances. One of them is a pay as you will. So it's a very low cost, whatever you decide to pay. You might pay more than the admission price or less. But part of our arrangement with OTA is that we help promote the play. So come out, they'll be doing, masks required. I'm not sure if they're requiring vaccination cards at the door. I haven't heard, but they're going to try to do it in a safe manner. Tom, looks like Tom has some input on that.
I want to know what OTA is.
Olympic Theater Arts. It's our local theater with local volunteer actors who put on great plays for the community and their nonprofit also. And so I believe the regular tickets are $18, and then they have a pay as you will. It'll be Friday and Saturdays at 7:30 p.m. and then Sunday matinees at 2 o'clock, and it runs from the 1st of October through the 17th. So if Facility for Living is about a nursing home that got relocated into an abandoned prison. So it's kind of a dystopian future, weird thing. And it's a comedy though. It's not supposed to be depressing, but it's a comedy about elders in a former prison, kind of making the prison nursing home connection there. I'm not sure how they're going to do that or how tactful it's going to be, but it might be funny. So check it out.
Sounds great. Thank you, Michael. Amber has her hand up. Amber, what's your announcement? Oh, you're muted.
No, my mic was off. Hi. I'm Amber Haasenflug, formerly Amber Wheeler. My company is Pacific Creative Studio. I'm a digital marketing company where I help with things like websites and online ads and social media. And I wanted to offer my services. I know right now is kind of a tough time with people, sort of not wanting to come into places because of either the numbers being too high or they don't like the mandates. And so online is a really good place still to reach a lot of those people that maybe are deciding to stay home for one reason or another. So if you, I'm offering free consultations. So if you need help looking over your website, looking over your social media, you need some advice, some ideas, please reach out to me. You can visit my website, pacificcreativestudio.com, or you can just email me, amber@pacificcreativestudio.com. And I would love to just offer my help for free. I won't ask for a credit card. I won't offer, I want to help. And so if you'd like any of those things, please reach out. I would absolutely love to help you.
Thank you, Amber. Next, I've got JC.
Hi, I'm with United Way, and I'm working on putting together the details for a pumpkin carving contest fundraiser for United Way. And so there'll be an entry fee. We're still working on the prices, but you'll get a pumpkin from Sunny Farms and a pumpkin carving kit. And there's different categories of age groups, and there'll be some really fun prizes. And we're really excited about it. We think that it could be a really cool thing for businesses to do as a bonding activity. So kind of coming up on the fall season, you could get a group of people together. All proceeds go back into the community, so it's for a really great cause. Right now, I'm putting together the details. All the details will be available on our website, or you can email us at info@unitedwayclallam.org. And I'm working on getting some sponsorships. So just a few sponsors is all we're looking for to get this off the ground. But we're also looking to, we haven't got our prizes set yet. So if anybody has ideas or anything they might want to donate for our prizes, we have pre-K to 5 years old. That's going to be a fun prize to put together. 6 to 9 years old, 10 to 12 years old, 13 to 17, and then 18 and up. So it'll be really fun to put together the prizes and for our kids in the community to participate along with their parents and other adults who want to do it. It might be a fun little activity for, like I said, businesses and people to come together and do together too. So yeah, if anybody has any questions, you can reach out to us at United Way.
Great, thank you, JC. And next I've got Sarah from the Free Clinic.
Actually, I have my OTA hat on since Michael was so kind to throw that out. And Facility for Living, I have read it multiple times. I've seen a couple of rehearsals. It is the most hilarious thing. I think everybody will enjoy it, but I did want to piggyback on what Michael said about the mask mandate. We will require masks inside, but we are requiring proof of vaccination or proof of a negative test within 72 hours of the show. So that is definitely a requirement. Board members like me will be out there doing that checking before folks are allowed in the building. So I just thought I'd put that out there for everybody.
Good clarification.
Thank you.
All right, so that's all we've got for announcements. Next in our program, we're going to have Tristan talk about our new and renewing members. So Tristan, are you ready to take it away?
Good afternoon, everyone. How are you today? So for our new member, this month we have Clallam Mosaic upgrading from a courtesy membership to their silver membership. So that's very exciting. As for our renewing members, I do not have that list right up in front of me right now, so I'll have to.
I do.
Angie will do it.
I will jump in. So for our silver renewing members, we have Coastal and Swim IT. For our bronze members, we have Olympic Peninsula Audubon Society, Squim Tax Service, Fat Cat Garden and Gifts, George E. Dickinson Construction, Lodge Chiropractic, Squim West Inn and RV Park, Alderwood Bistro, Paradise Restaurant, Plaza Jewelers, Alka Plumbing, Dungeness River Nature Center, Olympic Peninsula Humane Society, the Blind Store by McCrory. And then we have a number of individuals who support the chamber. They're not specifically businesses, but they believe in what we do, which is Linda Burnfather, Richard E. Davies, and Scott Clausen. So those are our renewing members. Anything else you want to add, Tristan?
No.
Okay, well, thank you to everybody for supporting what we do. Your investment is how we can execute our mission to support, inform, and advocate for the Squam Dungeness Valley. Next, we're going to have some words from our sponsor. Today's sponsor, can I do this right? Nope, this side, is Peninsula Behavioral Health, and we've got Rebecca Miller here to speak for them. So Rebecca, I'm going to make you the spotlight.
Oh boy.
Go ahead.
I apologize to all of you. So my name is Rebecca Miller, and I'm the Development Director at Peninsula Behavioral Health. I'm just going to really quickly share my screen. So we'll see if I can do this correctly. You tell me, Angie, if we have any luck.
You got it.
Yay, practice makes perfect. So just really briefly, I wanted to, for those of you that don't know much about PBH, you can see our numbers are pretty big, which surprises a lot of people. And you're probably, hopefully familiar with our, did it move? See, we didn't advance the screen, Rebecca, so that wasn't terribly helpful. There we go. Sorry. So you might be familiar with our main building up in Port Angeles. And then you might be familiar with our little tiny office down in Squim, which is right there on 5th. We have not been able to serve Squim as much as we would like to. So I get to announce something special that you might not know. Are we familiar with this building that happens to be right across the street from ours? Hey, look at that. PBH has bought it. So I put our little sign on there. It's not really there. But anyway, we're really excited. We're going to be able to move an entire team down there. So we will have our crisis responders, kind of a mini Port Angeles office. But we know Squim needs us down there, and we're really happy that we were able to finally do this. So escrow on this closes October 15th, and we hope to be up and running by early January. We've got a few things going on at the agency because we also just bought the All View Motel. Actually, that closes escrow, I think Halloween or something like that. So we are going to be able to do what we can to help with our housing crisis here in Clallam County. And then this is our 19-bed assisted living home that's in Port Angeles. And so because we needed another multi-million-dollar project to take on, we're going to do this one too. This building is 90 years old, and we need to redo the inside of it. So this is kind of what we're to support our residential programs this year. That's what we are going to be doing fundraising about for the rest of the year. And I'm scared to death because we have never done an auction, but we're going to try to do it this year. So I just wanted to let everybody know to save the date, November 6th. We're doing this as an adventure auction, so we won't be selling any things. These are all going to be fun things to do with family or friends. If we've learned anything through COVID, said I don't need more stuff, but I really wish I had more memories with family and friends. So this is just a little sampling of some of the fun things that we've already got planned for the day. And if anybody out there is interested in sponsoring, or if you have a really great idea for an experience, you just let me know. I'm going to put my email address in the chat box. So that's what I have. I'm super excited, even though I don't get the privilege of introducing North Olympic Library System. My segue, and Angie, you can kind of use this too. I'm also president of the League of Women Voters right now. And we're in forum season, and we could not have done our forums this year if it were not for North Olympic Library System, who helped us with all the technical aspect of it. So thank you.
Rebecca, before you leave, can you hear me?
Yep.
Where do you get all your financing to build all these buildings or buy all these buildings? I mean, I know that you're going to have this auction, but I don't think that auction is going to bring up the millions of dollars that you're using for all the, I mean, I think it's great, all the facilities you have, but I kind of wonder where all the, is this county, state, federal?
Yeah, a little bit of everything. So we have, the motel is being financed primarily through the Department of Commerce and the city of Port Angeles and the county of, Clallam County. So that's great, bringing in mostly outside money for that. We are with the Arlene Engel home, that is going to be done primarily through our own funds and reserves. And then hopefully people like you will contribute too, because the less money out of our reserves means that the building gets built, but we are also able to continue helping our underfunded people. So yeah, we've been writing a lot of grants. It's just what my world is right now.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for asking. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, you do a fabulous job, Rebecca, and this is super exciting news. So both SQUIM and Port Angeles are getting a big shot in the arm, if you will, towards our resilience as a community. So thank you so much for sponsoring today, and we're excited to see what comes out of all of this. And that was an excellent segue, because today our speakers are from the North Olympic Library System. We've got Emily Sly and Noah Galad. I might pronounce his last name wrong, but I'm used to it. So you guys can take it away. I have you both set up as co-hosts, so whoever wants to go first and share their screen is welcome to do that.
Okay, great. Well, thanks all. I'll start out here. I'm just going to chat for a moment, and then I'll share my screen. Noah and we're going to tag team throughout this presentation. So we'll see. Great. Here we are, both spotlighted. This is great to have Angie on tech here. First off, thanks so much for letting us be here and doing this presentation today. Really excited to get to share a lot that's happening at the library, and just really appreciate being a partner with the SQUIM Chamber of Commerce. Super excited to hear about Peninsula behavioral health plans as well. Like how great. I think there's some similarities here in the conversation we're going to have about the SQUIM branch, like an amazing big main facility in Port Angeles, and SQUIM having a smaller facility, but with a lot of needs in town. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here, and then we'll get chatting. Let's see here. You get to see my whole screen there. Sorry, I'm not quite as smooth as Rebecca was here. Thanks for your patience here as we get going.
Emily, I don't know if you can hear me.
I can, Tom.
I know I'm not muted yet, and thank you, but can you move a little bit slow with the pictures, or I know you can't talk slower, but I have to take notes for my constituencies at the Grange, so it's a little hard for me to keep up. Anyway, go ahead. Thank you.
Good. Okay. Thanks, Tom. Well, the good news is our slides are pretty basic today, so hopefully that'll help as well. We're not going to click through a lot of slides here. Let's see. And I just want to acknowledge too that, like everyone, there's been a lot this past year that we have been adapting to. And I know that the Chamber has done a lot to support the community. And as the library system, we've really tried to keep in mind, like, what can we do to best serve the community, and how can we change our services or adapt our services to better meet community needs. So this presentation touches on that. Really just gives an overview about the library in general. And then what I'm most excited about, yes, I'm super excited about all the library programs, but also about the renovation and expansion happening at the Squim Branch Library. Let's see here. That's my slide here. So a little bit about Knowles in general. We are a library tax district. It's a county-wide library system. Our primary support comes from property taxes, and we also receive revenue from state timberlands and donations. So there's a 5-member board of trustees that governs the library, and there are 4 libraries in the county. Port Angeles has the main library, and there's branches in Squim, Forks, and Clallam Bay. And there's also an outreach to the Homebound program as well. And that's a free service where we deliver books and materials to people that can't come to the library if they're unable to do so. A look at the numbers at Knowles. Right now, a snapshot of library card holders. There are 14,000 individual card holders registered at the Squim Branch Library. So if you're not one of them, today's your day. You can sign up. You can easily do it online or come to the Squim Branch Library and sign up in person. Library cards are free, and they give you access to a whole variety of materials you can check out from the library, both physical materials or online access. And all you need is your ID to get a library card. So we pulled stats from 2019. That was our last normal year of statistics when we were fully open. And so right now our circulation stats were about 80% of normal right now. So we do anticipate getting back to regular levels of circulation. So in 2019, for the full year, we had 439,000 items checked out. So that's books, DVDs, music, movies, magazines, all those different items that would be checked out. 134,000 individual patron visits to the library in that year, 16,000 hours on public computers, and 11,000 attendees at library programs and community meetings. So that would include both programs that Knowles hosted, as well as community groups that would have used the meeting room to hold meetings there on their own. Okay, I'm gonna pass it over to Noah here, who's gonna talk about library services.
Thanks, Emily. And I did just want to clarify with all those stats, those were specific to the Squim Branch library, and you know, there's even more happening throughout the system. So it's always pretty impressive to see those numbers. Just wanted to touch on some of the library services we've been offering the past 18 months, really through the pandemic. We've been you know, pivoting as everyone has, and trying to be nimble and adjust as we can. And we continue to almost every month, there's something new. But at the beginning of the pandemic, libraries were forced to shut down, as most businesses were. But we pretty quickly began offering Wi-Fi 24/7 and extending the range that it could be reached outside of all of our branches. We also started to look at how we could better offer some of our online resources for free. So we offer a really wide range of free resources you can access with your library card, but we added a couple new ones. One of those being Job Now and Skills Now. They're 2 resources through a service called Brain Fuse. But with Skills Now, they offer free online tutoring. So anyone with a library card can sign on and talk to a real human being and get tutoring help online at any time, basically. So we really want to get the word out about that service right now. I know a lot of parents, students, teachers, struggling to get through the situation right now. Our public computers and printing are something that get a lot of use, as those stats showed. It's difficult to offer those when the buildings themselves were closed for that period. So we began offering laptops for checkout when we were closed. We also started to offer free online printing. People could submit their prints, come to any library branch and grab their prints at curbside. Now that we're back open, online, the curbside printing is no longer an option, but people can still visit any library branch, hop onto a computer and print out up to $2.50 of prints for free each week with their library card as well. So that's a popular service. And our policies shifted last December, actually, that it used to be, prints are still 10 cents per page for just a basic one-page black and white print. But we started to allow the up to $2.50 free printing just last December, realizing that that was a need and is getting a lot of use now as well. Grab bags are a new service that we started offering when we were operating out of curbside as well. They were extremely popular in Sequim. That's where most of them checked out, and they were basically, you could fill out an online form through our website and say, I want picture books about new picture books, basically, for my kids. And we would fill up a bag, maybe 5 to 10 picture books, and you could swing by and grab those. And so it would kind of give folks the browsing experience without having to come into the building. So those are still available, and not just for kids. If you want a bag with 10 DVDs or a bag full of mysteries, we will pull those for you and get them in a bag for you, and you can come and check those out. Programming has been, very interesting. We're used to having hundreds, thousands of people coming into the building throughout the year to attend programs for all ages. We've offered a lot of virtual programming. We've also offered take and makes, which are basically kits that people can come to the library, pick up the kit and take home and do that activity. They've been popular with kids, but they're also for all ages. A lot of adults are pretty into those as well. The virtual programming has actually, there's been some benefits of it. We've realized with things like book groups where somebody that lives in Sequim can join a book group with somebody that lives in Forks or Column Bay, and they're having conversations together through Zoom, and that is great. It's also, we found with a lot of the adult programming, some of the presentations we've had in the evenings, people have appreciated not having to leave their home or to drive when it's dark to attend that program. And so we'll likely continue to offer some programming in a virtual format, even past this pandemic. For children and youth in general, that programming has been more difficult, and we're really looking forward to having kids and teens back in our building for programming in person. We have been offering story times and outdoors in person. So they're in Sequim in the field, outdoor space behind the library. We've been offering a weekly story time outside, rain or shine, and that has been going really well. Luckily, all the Tuesdays in September so far have been sunny. Today, likely an exception, but those have been going well, and we'll continue to kind of assess the situation and hopefully get more programming happening in person here in the near future. Likely more in early 2022 and into the spring and summer. The Imagination Library is another new service we started to offer last fall. We partnered with United Way of Palm County and the North Olympic Library Foundation to offer the Dolly Parton Imagination Library. And with that, any kid under the age of 5, their parent can sign them up through the Knowles website, and they will get a book delivered to them every month. If you have a newborn baby, you could sign them up and they will get a book every month until they turn 5. And that allows them to build their own personal library. It's really great. We really have to thank the United Way for helping support that financially, as well as our foundation. But we're really excited about that program, and we have, I think, nearly 1,000 kids across the county signed up for that so far. It's been just a great way to get books into people's homes. They don't have to come to the library at all, and they just need to sign up online. Faxing is another one of those services that people don't necessarily think about at the library, but they can come to the library and have material faxed for them as well as we have scanners and other equipment that they can use when we've started to offer that again in the building. And as mentioned here, we'll just add a ton of other things we've been offering as well. Kind of each month we roll out services that have been on kind of hold during the pandemic with furniture and so on. But 2022, we will be adding a bookmobile at Knowles, a small bookmobile. We ordered a custom Sprinter van, and we expect it to arrive in kind of the first quarter of 2022. There have been some delays due to the global supply chain issues, but we expect that to roll out really the first half of next year. We hope to have it in place, but definitely by the summer of 2022. And the goal will be to reach people that can't, make it to our branches. We're a big county. As Emily showed, our branches are pretty, spread apart pretty far. So the bookmobile will be able to, reach communities like Agnew or all the way up to Diamond Point. On the west end, the tribal communities, Neat Bay, La Push, Joyce. We're kind of identifying those routes right now and figuring out how we'll offer that service, but we're pretty excited about it and have a lot to look forward to. So bookmobile coming next summer, and then Emily's going to talk a little bit about the even bigger project, the SQUIM expansion and renovation.
All right. Well, I just advanced my screen. We'll see if it catches up. I don't want to press that forward arrow too many times. Here we go. Okay, and I just want to check. You're just seeing the screen, right? The presentation. Okay, perfect. So a brief history of the expansion project. I have been involved with the SQUIM Chamber for several years, for a few years as a board member, and then now as a community partner with the library. And so I have frequently shared with the chamber board the process we've been going through to address some of the major facility issues at the SQUIM branch. So a brief history of the SQUIM branch. It was built in 1983, the current facility. And that was built when the population was about half what the current population is now. And keep in mind, there was no internet at this time, no cell phones, people did not have their laptops. So people have a very different expectation for public libraries now, and certainly there's very different needs of people using the building. And we have just outgrown the space because our community has grown, and there's a lot happening at the library, which is really great. Knowles has made it a priority for a number of years to address the issue. You may remember in 2018, there was a bond issue on the ballot, or a bond measure on the ballot. There was really strong community support, which was incredibly encouraging to know so many people wanted to see this happen in SQUIM. And 58.5% of voters voted yes to support that measure. And in Washington state, bonds require a 60% supermajority. So that one unfortunately didn't pass. We were just under 260 votes shy to pass that. But again, we were really encouraged to see the level of community support to help address the issue. So the libraries continue to explore other funding options to expand the library. And in 2020, there was a grant opportunity that presented itself through the Washington Department of Commerce. So we decided to move on that. And we submitted the grant application in, June of 2020. And you could request up to $2 million in matching funds. And so we requested the full amount. Our project ended up being ranked number 5 out of 33 applications, indicating, that we had a really strong project that we are proposing. And then we received approval for the bond, or excuse me, not for the bond, approval for the grant this past May. So very exciting. It was dependent on legislative funding and approval by Governor Inslee, and it was in the capital budget. So we have those funds. We were awarded the full amount of $2 million in matching funds. And I'll talk a little bit more about funding on the next slide, but not that one. Here we go. This one, I do want to acknowledge that this project is a much smaller scope than the 2018 proposal, and it really addresses the most critical issues at the branch. So ADA restrooms for both the public bathrooms and for staff bathrooms, significant technology improvements in terms of access. Broadband is really essential to everyone right now, and just basic things like more power outlets in the buildings so people can bring in their personal devices and have a place to plug them in when they come in to use them. Another thing we'll be addressing is emergency exits. Again, the building was built in the 80s when libraries had a different role in the community. And so we want to have code compliant emergency exits in our meeting rooms so they can be used, after hours safely, and also increased space in the library. Certainly we're pretty squeezed in the branch here. And actually just today, staff were telling me like, wow, it's really feeling like pre-pandemic times in the library. I walked out in the library and there's just people everywhere. So it's exciting that people are back using the library. Admittedly, it was a challenge before the pandemic, and it's pretty difficult right now when you have a lot of people in a small space. So in terms of funding for the project, I mentioned the $2 million in the Library Capital Improvement Program grant funds through the Department of Commerce. And this spring, the Knowles board allocated the transfer of $2 million of Knowles Capital Reserve funds towards the project. So we have the $2 million match. And then we have a fundraising goal of $1 million that will be seeking funding through grants and community fundraising. So we'll be looking at launching a capital campaign next year. But right now we're actively seeking grants. Okay.
All right. So I'm just going to briefly walk through the timeline right now. Back in June, as soon as we found out that we were awarded the grant and our board approved those matching funds, we issued a request for an RFP for an architect, and we just selected that architect in August, and we're in the process of kind of negotiating that contract, and that should be finalized within the next couple weeks. And as soon as that is in place, we'll begin the design work process. So we'll be having a series of community meetings like later this fall to really inform the public about this project and gather feedback on that design. As Emily mentioned, it will be much smaller than what we had planned in 2018. We did have a conceptual drawing done just for kind of this initial cost estimates a year ago, and that conceptual drawing has been shared with the public the past year, but what we go forward with could look very different than that conceptual drawing. So we will be getting feedback the next several months, and then that design work will happen basically through the next year. Another RFP will have to happen for a construction company to do the work, and then summer of next year we'll begin to likely relocate to a temporary location. So the building will be vacant during the construction for about a year, and we're currently in the process of trying to identify a site that we can kind of operate out of. Limited services for that year. We'll offer as much as we can, and will likely be dependent on what space we get, but we will continue to offer services through the construction at a temporary location. Construction's estimated to take about a year, so we hope to be open back up at a bigger and fully renovated space by the fall of 2023. So it sounds like it's a ways out there, but it will be here before we know it. And it will be great to have that space available again. let's see. I think next steps, Emily, you're going to talk about that capital campaign a little bit. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, I can touch on that. So basically, the capital campaign, like I mentioned, we'll launch that in the spring, and we'll certainly have more information coming about that. I did post the website on this slide, so you can get more information. We'll be certainly putting updates on the website. It's just knowles.org/SQUIM library project. You can also easily find it from the Knowles homepage. I realized earlier as well, when I was talking about the project, it didn't specifically mention the size of increase. As Noah mentioned, we're just starting to work with the architect, and we the funding amount in our budget is based on real preliminary numbers, and so we'll be refining those this fall. But early estimates are to add approximately 2,000 square feet to the building. Right now, the building is 6,000 square feet. So, bump up to about 8,000 and then do a complete renovation of the building is what we're looking at. But again, we'll have updated information available in the coming months. So it's super exciting. We've been working hard at this for a very long time. It's definitely been quite the rocky road sometimes, where you get your hopes up and they come back down, but that's kind of the reality. A lot of these a lot of capital projects is they cost a lot of money, and it takes a lot of community support. And so really looking forward to continuing to work with the community and to work with the chamber to keep making SQUIM a great place to be. And we're really happy to be able to be offering good library service to everyone in the community and in the county. So with that, I'd love to open it up for questions, either specifically about the project, library services in general. I'm happy to answer questions.
Tom has a question. Can you hear me?
I can, yeah, go ahead, Tom.
What are you thinking about temporary location? What's that entail for you? I mean, you have a pretty big building, and now all of a sudden you're going to have no building. So I guess I'm wondering what you might be looking for and still keep it in SQUIM.
Yeah, that's a good question. We're looking at commercial properties that are on the rental market right now. So, we've contacted property owners, and we're just exploring what's available and what will best meet the library's needs. Certainly it'll be a smaller scale than smaller size than what we offer now and what we're in now. And, we'll probably go down to some just offering real core services. Certainly a lot of the collection will be either packed in boxes temporarily or reassigned to some other branches that may be able to temporarily hold it for a bit for us, and then it would come back to SQUIM. So I would anticipate, there'll be a small browsing collection, but a lot of collection needs will be served by people placing holds and staff helping place holds if needed. But certainly storage will be something we'll be looking for too. So if you know of any places, let me know.
Would you use tractor trailers? Would you store, those could be on site, but they might not be very accessible. I mean, once you pack them.
I think anything's on the table. Certainly for any kind of collection material need to be climate controlled, but there are certain things that could be, stored in a tractor trailer or a cargo shipping container. There's some options, but yeah, good questions. Things we're thinking about for sure.
Thank you.
Great.
I'll just know we've been through this process once before. In like 2013, we fully renovated the Forks Branch Library and had to do something similar where that was all cleared out and we moved into a fairly small space, I think less than 1,000 square feet for 9 months. But this will be a similar process, I think, to that. Any other questions?
Great. Well, I just want to throw out there too, Rebecca, thanks for mentioning the League of Women Voters forums. I don't have the dates right in front of me, but it seems like maybe there's one tonight or tomorrow night, but they are recorded and available on the League website. And we're always happy to partner with the League of Women Voters to do these voter forums. It's a great way for people to be educated about the candidates.
Thanks so much. They're actually, SQUIM is tomorrow night, and then the OMC commissioners are the following, so Thursday night. And today happens to be National, Vote to Register Day. So if you haven't, it's super easy.
I had a quick question about the Dolly Parton situation. Just heard from the McKinney-Vento person at the SQUIM School District, and she's dealing with homeless students. How could they register for that? And this would be a family, for example, who is in transitional housing. Can they register using the school district as an address?
A good question. They could. I mean, they could list any address they wanted to, as long as it is in the county. That's the only thing that we're verifying. So we will ship anywhere. But they could call in if they don't have internet access, and we could get them signed up, or stop by a branch and we could get them signed up as well. But whatever address they're able to list to pick up the material, that would be fine. So if they put in the child's name and then list a school district address, if there's some communication on their behalf to know where to get that book, that would be fine for sure.
Great, thank you.
Yeah.
Great. Well, I'm going to stop sharing my screen here, but thanks all for the time, and definitely feel free to reach out if you have questions or thoughts later. Both Noah and I are easily reachable. You can find our contact information on the website.
Oh, thank you so much. As you can see, I am taking over Tristan's computer because my computer froze in the middle of your presentation. It was just so excited about the new developments for our library. So I'm going to wrap up today. Thank you guys all for coming. We do have a couple upcoming events for the chamber. Our next luncheon is October 26th. Our Clown County commissioners will be joining us to speak about the budgeting process for 2022 and to answer any questions you have about county government. We're still working out whether or not that will be in person or if it will be virtual. So stay tuned. That information will be posted on our events calendar. And we are also coordinating details for our annual downtown trick or treat for kids in the community with our merchants. The event will be held on Washington Street between Squim Avenue and 3rd Avenue from 3 to 6 p.m. on October 31st. And we're working closely with the County Health Department and the City of Squim to offer a safe and socially distanced outdoor event for the community. So again, more details will be developing. We will stay here on the meeting to answer any questions if you want. But otherwise, thank you for coming, and we'll see you at the next chamber luncheon.
Angie?
Yeah.
I had a question for Tom, if he's still on. Tom, is the Grange still are they still working or planning on having the things to do in Squim on October 9th?
I believe that's a no-go.
Okay. And what about your holiday bazaar?
That was something, is that the toys for children? That's
No, the one where it's people bring their wares to sell for Christmas.
Yes, I think
that usually happens in November or early December, I think.
Yeah, is that the Hospital Guild sponsors that, I believe?
I'm not sure of that.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't want to say it's not going to happen, but I have an idea it's not going to happen, but don't. So, and our next meeting is not until the second week in October.
Okay, but the things to do in Squim on the 9th is canceled?
I believe that, yes, that's canceled.
Okay, great, thank you. Thanks, Angie.
Thank you.
Lots of stay tunes, aren't there? But as
So,
soon as we know, we'll let you know. All right, well, thank you guys so much. I'm gonna go try to figure out how to shut down my computer with this actively going. And we'll talk to you all soon.
Have fun. Bye.